Welcome everyone to another great episode of Brutally Honest. I am your host, StichsNBC, and this is episode, I'm not really sure, I'm lost in count. It's still season 3 though, I guarantee that. Press 1 if it's live, press 2 if it's a replay. I'm not going to be able to do the sharing, so if you guys can actually help me with that, you guys would actually be helping me out tremendously on that. One of the things that I would definitely want us to start off by saying is that I do definitely appreciate when everybody gives me such great feedback when I'm doing shows with my son. Like it really makes me feel good about that. It really, like, the feedback, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Even Chris and Rashad from Catch and Rec, catch them on Wednesdays at 7. They gave me and my son a shout out. I definitely appreciate that. And I talk to about at least 75 to 100 people a day, and everything has been good. And one of the things that I've been getting from doing shows with my son is that they say they love the fact that I bring my son on, and that I open it up to the world. That I use my platform to actually keep it brutally honest. That it's like I'm not just here just talking about it and just saying what sounds good. I'm actually leading by example and stuff like that. And to be honest with you guys, I'm actually a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to things like that too. I'm Chris, off topic, but I seen your little man in the studio, and it was great to see. I can't wait to hear it. I even took my little Stitch to the studio, to Alfox Media. Shout out to Luciano as well. He be freestyling, yo. My little man, he be freestyling. I love it. Some of the things that I want to talk about today, I'm going to go run right through it. This show is not going to be as long as I wanted it to be, but I'm going to try to speak my piece and be as informative and detailed as possible. One of the things is, don't ever put yourself above my kids. That's number one. Watch your boundaries when it comes to my kids. And when I say my kids, I'm actually speaking in general. When it comes to all of us, press 1 if it's live, 2 if it's a replay. I see Jaylene watching. Que lo que? Let me see them ones, girl. Let me see them ones. The main topic I want to talk about was, would you rather cheat or get cheated on? And it's not like which one would you rather do. It's more like, if you had a choice, if you had to pick one, which one would it be? Would you cheat or would you get cheated on? I'm going to give you my feedback on that as well. And one of the things I'm going to end the show with is, it's cute when you're interested in the person, but it's annoying and irritating AF when you are not interested in that person. But going back to what I was saying in the beginning is that, I do appreciate all the feedback, and you guys are definitely going to keep seeing my son on my show. He's probably going to end up being my co-host. Let's be honest about that. At the end of the day, this is going to be his show. I'm just setting him up for greatness. And when it comes to our kids, we definitely have to put our kids first. And that's what I'm saying. Like, let that be the last time you ever put yourself above my kids. I've gone through certain situations in my past with girls that I've been with, girls that I'm talking to or dating and things like that. And when it comes to having boundaries in relationships, I feel like that's a very sensitive issue, especially when it comes to our kids and things like that. Again, I'm not able to share, so if you guys can share, y'all definitely will be helping me out with that. But when it comes to having boundaries, our kids is definitely one of them, or at least it should be. For me personally, me keeping it brutally honest with myself, I am extremely sensitive when it comes to my daughter Anaya and my son Lil Stitch, also known as Michael. I am extremely sensitive when it comes to that. Like, my daughter lives in New York, so I don't really get to spend as much time as I would love to spend with her. That's actually one of my lifelong pains that I have to continue to endure in my lifetime, especially because I adore my kids so much. And when it comes to my son, thank the Lord that I'm able to get my son whenever I want. I ain't got no issues with that. But because of the work schedule, I just spend the weekends with my son. Now that he's not at school, I try to spend my Fridays with my son as well. So that's extremely important to me, because you guys know, if y'all parents, if you guys have teenagers, once they reach a certain age, our kids, they just live in their own lives. It's like our kids, they're living in their own world. It's like our kids, they're off and about and doing their own thing. And it's crazy, because it reminds me a lot of what my moms used to tell me. My moms used to tell me, oh, you guys don't call me, you guys don't visit me, and things like that. And I used to tell my Mom, I'm sorry. It's not that I don't love you or like that. Just be busy. I'm trying to, pay my bills, do what I gotta do. I stay moving. And now that, my son he's only 9 years old right now, and he loves to be with me, and he always wants to be with me. Things like that always circulate in my mind, as far as, man, this is not gonna last forever. There's gonna be a time where my son is gonna he's gonna have his friends, he's gonna want to be with his friends and chill and things like that, and I'm not gonna be a priority for him. So now that he's 9 years old, about to be 10 on August 20th, I'm trying to take as much as advantage of the time that I'm able to spend with him as much as I can. One of the things that I tell a lot of people, I've never said this on the show, but I've said this to a lot of people face to face. I'm gonna hold that thought. Chris, Sharon, my killer, you already know, is support and get supported. I love you guys. Ivelisse, que lo que. Chris saying, I almost quit my job due to my kids. Due to working so much, I was missing valuable time with them. But the job understood. That's awesome. That's awesome that the job actually understood. I'm happy that you are working, or you are a part of a family-oriented company. People that I can actually understand that our kids come first. But there also has to be a balance with that. Growing up, my father wasn't really there physically. He wasn't really there. He never took me to the park. We never played ball. We never played catch. I never did any of those things with my dad. I did that with my killers. I did that with my peoples in the streets and stuff like that, And growing up, I have to be brutally honest. I felt a certain way. I did. I had resentment towards my father. I had a grudge towards my father. Key word is I had. I actually spoke to my dad about this too. I spoke to my dad. I was like, you know what, Dad? You've never even told me you loved me. And I actually had a very deep conversation with my dad, that I was actually able to heal that wound or deal with that trauma, that I was actually able to move forward in my life and not hold it in so much, because I felt like it was actually affecting me. I felt like I was carrying a lot of that anger within me. And it got to the point where I didn't blame my father anymore, because I had to be grateful. I had to also realize that I never went hungry. There was always a plate of food in the house. The lights never went off. We never got evicted. Bills was always paid on time. You feel me? So I have to be aware of those things and be grateful and tell my dad, thank you. You may not have been there physically, but at least you was there supporting my livelihood, to be honest. And that's what I mean as far as having balance. Being that I had that experience growing up when I was just a little kid and my father wasn't always there. He was always working. I always try to spend as much time as I can with my kids, because that is a priority for me. But I also have to have a balance as far as my kids also need to eat. My kids need clothing. My kids also need shelter. And as a man, as their father, I also have to provide and supply for that. One of the things that I was saying is that one of the things I've never said on this show is, I'm going to get to those comments as soon as I say this, guys. Appreciate Tina for comments. Andrea, que lo que, press on if it's live too, if it's a replay. One of the things that I tell a lot of people, especially a lot of people that are older than me, that are going through this situation when it comes to raising our kids is, and I've never said this on my show, but I feel comfortable because if I could say it in front of people behind closed doors. At the end of the day, the point of this show is to open things up and have an open conversation. It doesn't matter who agrees, disagrees, who's right and who's wrong. What matters is, can we reach a even playing field where we can actually understand and also understand each other's perception and perspective of where we're coming from. And one of the things that I keep on telling people is, like, I tell them like this: listen, When it comes to my kids, I love my kids. I adore my kids. I will always be there for my kids. I've told this to my daughter, like, hey, listen, the door for you is always open. It was never locked. You don't even have to turn the knob. It's already open. All you have to do is walk in. You're my kid. You can pop up unannounced. You can pop up uninvited. You don't even have to ring the doorbell. The door is always opened. And by door, I mean that in a metaphorical way, as far as the doors to my heart. It is always open, but I am not going to be right there at the door waiting for you. I know it sounds rough. I know it sounds even a little rude, and it's very unorthodox for people to talk like this, but I have to keep it brutally honest with you guys. My doors is always going to be open, but I am not going to be standing by that door waiting on anybody. I have my own life to live as well. I was talking to a female, and she's a mother, and we was having this conversation, and she was like, man, I wish I could have that courage to be like that. And one of the things I told her was, what's the most important title that you have in your life right now? And she responded with, oh, I'm a mother. I was like, I love it. I completely agree. One of my most important title in my life is a father. But we have to realize that that is not our only title. You are also a woman. I am also a man. We still have responsibilities to do what we have to do. We have to be great parents and raise our kids in the best way that we can, teach them the lessons that we already learned, and also understand that they have lessons to learn on their own as well. But we also have our own lives to live. When our kids grow up, when our kids are raised, and when our kids have their own lives, what happens to us? You know, a lot of times we feel like all I am is a father. So now that my kids don't need me or want me anymore, right? Because they're good, they're living their own lives. Now I have to feel insecure, or now I have to devalue myself as a human being, as far as, well, if I can't even be their father, then what else am I here for? No, you are absolutely wrong. We all have deeper purpose in our lives, and it's not just being parents, even though being a parent should be your biggest title that you hold. Let me see when it comes to this. Jaylene, never let anybody put themselves before your kids. And when it comes to that, like me talking about myself, like I'm a father, right? And if it comes from a woman that she's a mother too, I'm gonna feel a certain way. I'm gonna feel like, hold up, but you're a mother. You should understand how important kids are in our lives. So if I'm not able to chill with you because I have to pick up my daughter, if I'm not able to spend as much time with you because we're both off on weekends, and I'm only able to spend my son on the weekends, then I know it's messed up for us to expect things from people. I get it. But damn, I expect for you to at least understand that the time with my son comes first. Now, if my son has something to do, if he's, going camping with his moms and then his other side of the family, and I have time available, then yeah, I'm going to use that time available to spend it with somebody that I'm interested in. That's what I'll have to say about that. Tina, my oldest son is 17. I still try to have our time together as much as I can because next year he's off to college. And God bless him. You're absolutely right. Just do your best as far as to always be there for him, and not in a way as far as making him feel condescended, making him feel like he's not smart enough, or making him feel like he can't do it on his own. Back to the same thing I was saying before. Keep your doors open. Leave them open and make your kids know that the door is always open, but also you're not there by your phone waiting for them to call. Like, you still have your own life to live. If you have more kids, you still have more responsibility to handle. Chris, I don't want my kids to go through what I did as a kid. Amen to that. I had to stop right there, bro. Amen to that. I do not want my kids to go through the same thing I went through as a kid. But can I hit you with something else, bro? There's a small part of me that kind of wants them to. Why? Because our trials and hardships and tribulations. I'm not gonna say trauma because I don't want my kids to go through no trauma, right? But hardships, yeah. Why? Because when we look at ourselves and when we look in our past and we start thinking like, man, I can't believe I made it out of that. So we start to believe in ourselves a little more because we proved ourselves that we are able to, and we have that ambition and effort and that energy to actually get through over and jump over hurdles in our lives, especially speed bumps. So there's a small part of me that, yeah, I kind of want my kids to go through a couple of hardships, yeah. Not to the extreme of the ones that I went through as far as being homeless, as far as walking around Fulton looking for change on the floor just so I could buy myself a butter roll with a coffee. Back in those days, it was only $1. You know, I'm talking about back then, like when I was like 19 and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want my kids to go through that. I don't want my kids to feel like they're alone, like they don't have nothing to go through. No, I don't want my kids to go through that at all. But I do want my kids to believe in themselves, that they can know, not just by me telling them you're smart, you can do it. No, I want them to realize that on their own as well, that they can also get through hurdles in their own lives, and they don't need mom and dad for everything, even though mom and dad is here for everything. I don't want my kids to go through what I did as a kid, not having that time or love with my parents. We get caught up in this American dream that we lose focus on that. It's always family first. Yeah, it is always family first, but God always. I think I got that here, right? I actually got God first there. Should be God always, but hey, all right. I completely agree. I ran to the streets for that love. I want my kids to run to me and their mother for love. That's what happened to me, man. That's why I got involved in like gangs. I got involved in the streets. I got involved in hustling. I got involved in drugs. I got involved in hanging out late and things like that. Why? Because I felt accepted. I felt like I had the attention. I was getting tattoos. I was getting locked up. I was getting my ears pierced and things like that. And I had to realize that, man, I was just looking for attention from my parents. Any type of attention would have sufficed at that point. Do y'all understand where I'm coming through? Because I feel like most of y'all watching this now, and most of y'all are going to be watching this later, understand exactly where I'm coming from when I say those things. Jalene, once they reach a certain age, they ain't gonna give a damn about us. It'll be all about their friends, and that's why once they are little, we have to enjoy every moment with them. I do agree with them. I don't know if they won't give a damn about us or anything like that. They do care. It's just that they care more about hanging out and having fun, especially when they don't have responsibilities or priorities like that. I feel like that's when you need a balance as far as being a father and also being a friend to them as well. And by being a friend, you allow them to be comfortable to go to you for anything. I want to be my kid's best friend, but I also need them to know that I'm also their father. That it's also my job to correct them when they're doing wrong, to scold them when they're doing bad. I'm not trying to hit my kids. I'm not trying to put no hands on my kids. But I'm not going to hesitate to punish them. I'm not going to hesitate to take the tablet away, to take the PS5s away. I'm not going to hesitate on doing any of that, because I also have to be a father. And hopefully they can learn from punishments. You know, did I learn? I learned a little bit, yeah. But then after I got old enough, the belt whippings didn't even faze me anymore. It was like, it'll be like 5 minutes, I'll get over it and brush it off. You know, I still had to learn a lot of lessons on my own. Press 1 if it's live, 2 if it's a replay. Guys, I'm not able to share. If you guys can help me out with that, I definitely would appreciate it. Now, back to the main topic. Now that I got, the most important topic, which is talking about our kids out the way, let's try to have a little bit more fun with this. Would you rather cheat or get cheated on? Is the question. I want to see those comments, and I know most of you guys, like I'm including myself, like, would I rather cheat or get cheated on? Neither. I don't want to cheat, and I don't want to get cheated on either. I get it. None of the above. Would you rather cheat or get cheated on? None. I get it, guys. I get it. That's not the question, though. Where I'm asking is, if you had to choose one, which one would you pick to cheat or get cheated on? And I'm going to walk you guys through my thought process at that. When this question first arose, my thought process was, no, I'd rather get cheated on. And why is that? Because I'm not a cheater. I've never cheated on anyone in my whole life. And yes, I am proud to say that. I am not going to lower myself to somebody else's level. I am not going to take myself out of character because of the pain that I had to go through. So when it came to that question, would you rather cheat or get cheated on? I first came up with, nah, I'd rather get cheated on because I don't want to cheat, right? Okay, cool. But I kept on thinking about this question and kept on thinking about this question. And I actually changed my answer. I changed my answer when it came to that. It came to a point that, man, I'd rather cheat. If I had to pick one between cheat or get cheated on, me personally, Sandy Miguel Martez, aka Michael, aka Stitches Nothing But Classics, I would rather cheat. And this is why. I've been cheated on, right? How many times? The Lord knows. What I know of, 2 times, right? From the same female. I was cheated on, and I know how it feels to be cheated on. I know how it felt. I know how destroyed I was. I know what that did to me. It took me 10 years to get over that. Now, why am I saying 10 years? 1, because it's the truth. I have to be honest. Why? Because you guys, if by me saying 10 years, you guys can also understand the gravity, the magnitude of the situation when somebody's getting cheated on. If you guys have been cheated on, y'all know how it feels. Y'all don't trust anything. The meteorologist, the weatherman's talking about it's going to be sunny tomorrow and you still come out with your umbrella. You don't trust anybody after you've been cheated on before. And honestly, I do not want to go through that again. Especially knowing how long it took me to get over that. I am not trying to go through that ever again in my life. Mainly because I don't have control of whether she cheats on me or not. If a person wants to cheat on you, it doesn't matter what you did or what you didn't do. It doesn't matter what you say, what you said, or what you didn't say. If a person wants to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you no matter what. We've all known people that are supposed to be in a happy relationship and the guy or the girl does everything they can do as far as satisfying the person physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, and they're always there, and they still get cheated on. And when you get cheated on, you start looking at yourself like, what did I do? Was it me? Is there something I could have changed? And then we start looking for excuses for the other person of, maybe if I would have called them more, maybe if I would have texted them more, they would have never cheated on me. You are absolutely wrong with that. Whoever wants to cheat on you is going to cheat on you regardless. And at the end of the day, there is no good reason to cheat on anybody. So why would I choose? I'd rather cheat on somebody because that's my choice. I have power over that. And not just the power, I also have control of that. I don't have control if somebody cheats on me, but I do have control if I were to cheat on somebody else. So if I went down that darkness path and I ended up cheating on somebody, I can check myself on that. I can make the necessary changes that I need to make for myself when it comes to cheating. And I know that that question, would you rather cheat or get cheated on, can trigger a lot of emotional trauma that we've gone through, but it's also very thought-provoking. And that was the main reason why I did post it on my group, Brutally Honest, Unfiltered. You guys are welcome to join. Strictly positive. And by positive, I don't mean that everything in life is always sunshine. I don't mean like everything is always rainbow. I don't mean that everything is always good. I don't mean that when I say positive. When I say positive, I mean being real. Keep it real with yourself. If you have something that you want to say, if you have something that you want to express, then by all means do it. Just be respectful in your delivery. That's what I mean by positive. It doesn't have to be always inspirational. Life is not always about inspiration and being inspired. And no, that's not life. That's not how life is, and that's not how life works. I'd be lying to myself. I wouldn't be brutally honest as well. Alright, I never grew up with my dad. Sorry to hear that. Tina, get cheated on. Jaline, I'd rather get cheated on. I can't break somebody's heart. Yeah, I feel you. I could never hurt someone with that kind of hurt. I got cheated on with my best friend, and that's the type of hurt I will never forget, but I forgive them only because I need peace with my soul. Before you forgive them, forgive yourself first. Forgive yourself first for thinking that you was the issue. Forgive yourself first. Move over with yourself first, because at the end of the day, it really does start with you, and happiness does come within. One of the last thing I guess I'm gonna say, it's cute when you're interested, but it's annoying when you're not. And you guys can agree with me or disagree with me on this one, but it comes like, if you are actually interested in this person, then it doesn't matter what that person says or does. You're gonna keep on being interested with that person, right? Things like that. Like, they can text you. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night they're texting you. It could be at 12 in the morning, it could be at 12 at night. It doesn't matter. You're gonna find it cute. Oh, they thinking about me. Oh, that's so nice. But when it comes with somebody that you're really not interested like that, and they could just text you, hey, good morning. All right, cool. The first time, hey, good morning. I'm good. Whatever. But they keep on texting you every day, good morning, and you're not interested with this person, then thank God that iPhone has a feature that's called Do Not Disturb. So next time I go live, it's more than likely gonna be with my son. I'm going to continue to do shows with my son. I'm gonna be more consistent doing shows with my son, because at the end of the day, that's what really fulfills me more. I will keep on coming up with topics that's influential, informative, inspirational, positive, real life topics. I am not here to be talking about no F-boy stuff. I am not here to be talking about things that really doesn't matter, or things that add no value to you guys' lives. I was born for a bigger purpose than that. And I thank you guys, and I also thank my kids for helping me realize what my purpose is. I love you guys all. God bless. I'll see you next time. Press 1 if it's live. Press 2 if it's a replay. And if you can find it in your heart, share, because I do care about those. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time.